Hello tribe, yes, it's Alyshea. I will be guiding you through your practice today. We are going to do a quick but powerful practice. So hopefully you have your mat set up, grab any water that you may need, any props that you want to use to help deepen your practice. So let's go ahead and start in a seated position on our mat. We're just going to warm up the spine a little bit here. So we'll bring the hands to the top of the thighs and then start to circle the torso. So bring the chest forward and then round the spine to the back. And it's okay if the sits bones come up off the mat a little bit here. What we're really focusing on is getting that movement in the spine. So we just want to make sure that we're not circling like this, right? Release the chest forward, almost maybe even like pause. So this would be a seated cat, and then working your way through into a seated cow. And keep it going. And then we'll reverse the other direction. Add the breath here. So inhale forward and exhale back. Starting to warm up the lungs and the spine, getting some movement in the body. All right, and bring it back to center. Let's go ahead and stand it up. Nice and easy. Come to the top of the mat. Bring the feet hip distance apart. 2 fists. So if you want to check, bring your 2 fists right between the feet. That's how far apart they should be. We'll inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, find a little back bend here. Press the hips forward. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, stretch the arms to the right, send the hips to the left. Bringing it back to center. Exhale, send the hips to the right, upper body to the left. Bringing it back to center. And exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Releasing the hands down toward the mat. We're going to stay here in our forward fold for a little bit. Opening up into the backs of the legs. Allow the top of the head to come all the way down towards the mat. Nice deep breaths. Really opening up into the hamstrings and the calves. Good. And then from here, let's just step that left foot back, keeping the right foot forward. Engage the core and sweep the arms up, crescent lunge. Keeping that back leg nice and engaged. Stacking the front knee over the ankle. Square the hips. Nice deep breaths. Good. And then bringing that left hand down underneath the shoulder. Right arm comes up. Revolve your lunge here. Use your block if you need to, so you can place the block underneath of the left hand if that helps. Good, and then sweep the arms back up, crescent lunge. Stepping the back foot in, straighten the front leg, drop the heels, square the hips. Inhale, lengthening in the spine, and then exhale, hinging forward. Nice flat back, leading with the chest and the chin coming down into your pyramid pose. Another great place to have some blocks if you want to place your hands on your blocks here. Good. One more breath. Lift the chest back up to center, bringing the hands to heart center. Shift it forward onto the right leg, coming into warrior 3. Take your time, find your balance, keeping the hips squared onto the mat. Nice and even. If you fall out of it, that's okay. Come back in whenever you're ready. Perfect. Both hands coming back down to the mat, and we'll drop it back down into our lunge. Dropping that back knee onto the mat, release the top of the foot. Lift the chest, interlace the fingers, bringing them to the thigh. Find yourself in your low lunge and take an optional back bend. Shining the heart forward. Good, and then hands coming back to the mat. Tuck those back toes, lift the back leg, and step the right foot back into your plank. We're going to take a vinyasa, so shift it forward and then lower down for chaturanga. Keep the elbows in nice and tight. Inhale, upward facing dog. Shoulders stay down and away from the ears. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Allow the head to hang heavy, looking at the tops of the thighs or the belly button. Fingers are spread nice and wide on the mat. It's our first downward facing dog, so take your time. If you need to pedal the feet and create some space still in the backs of the legs, go ahead. We'll be here for a couple breaths, so find that movement if you need to. And then once you're ready, come into stillness. If you haven't already, activate that Ujjayi breathing, our ocean wave breath, closing off the back of the throat just enough to create an audible ocean wave sound. We're making some friction here as we inhale and exhale, creating internal heat in the body, as well as kickstarting our metabolism for the day. And then we'll step that left foot forward. Keep the right heel lifted up off the mat. Engage the core and sweep the arms up. Crescent lunge. Left side. Shoulders are relaxed away from the ears. Back leg is engaged. One more inhale here as we lengthen through the spine. And then exhale, release the right hand down underneath of the shoulder and sweep the left arm up, twisting from our center here. Perfect, and then arms sweep back up into crescent lunge. Stepping the back foot in, drop the heel, straighten the front leg. Square the hips, lengthen up, and exhale, hinge forward. Pyramid pose. Try not to drop the head and bring the forehead down, right? We want to reach the chin toward the ankle. One more breath. And then lifting with the chest, coming back to center. Bring the hands to heart center. And then shift it forward onto the left leg, warrior three. Breathing. Hands release down to the mat. Drop it back down into your lunge. Release the back knee and the top of the ankle. Lifting the chest, interlace the fingers once again. Bring them to the thigh. Find yourself in a low lunge, another optional back bend. Hands coming back down onto the mat. Let's shift the hips back. Straighten the front leg, flex the foot. Half split. And bring it forward as we tuck the right toes, lift that back leg, stepping the left foot back, and take your vinyasa. Don't forget the breath. Stepping the right foot forward, drop that back heel 90 degrees as we bring it all the way up, warrior two. Front knee stacked over the ankle. Shoulders are stacked over the hips. So we're not reaching forward And we're not coming back. We're staying nice and centered, and then just come straight down into your warrior. Inhale here, and exhale. Release the forearm to the thigh, sweeping that left arm through for extended side angle. One more inhale. Exhale, bring it back, warrior two. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Shorten your stance a little bit if you need to. And then as we exhale, reaching out over that leg and coming down into our triangle pose. Pressing the hips forward, bringing the shoulders back. Imagine the upper back pressing up against a wall behind you. One more inhale here. And exhale, cartwheel the hands back down to the mat, stepping that right foot back and take your vinyasa. Meeting back in downward dog. We'll take a breath here together. Inhale through the nose and open the mouth side out. Left foot steps forward, dropping the right heel 90 degrees. Bring it on up. Warrior two, left side. That front knee is going to want to roll forward toward the big toe, so just be conscious of that. Opening up here and keeping that right hip back as well. So we really want to open up through the hips. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, release the forearm to the thigh, sweeping that right arm through for extended side angle. You can take any variation of side angle that fits your practice. So if you want to bring the left hand down to the mat or to a block, or come into a bind, those are other options that are available for you. Exhale, bring it back into warrior two. And inhale, straighten the front leg, shorten the stance. Exhale, shifting the upper body out over that leg, and then dropping down, triangle pose. Trying to stack the shoulder here right on top of left, so making sure that the right shoulder is not coming forward, keeping it nice and open. You should really feel this right here, opening up in this right hip. One more inhale here. And then exhale, cartwheel the hands down to the mat, stepping that left foot back. Take your vinyasa. Meeting back in downward facing dog. Good, and then we'll come up onto the balls of the feet and just bend the knees, dropping the knees down to the mat, crossing the ankles and coming back onto our seats. From here, lifting up nice and tall, start to lean back, keeping the spine extended, coming into your boat pose. Options to straighten the legs, keep them bent, or if you want to even keep the toes on the mat, that's fine. Just keep that core nice and tight. One more breath. And then lower it all the way down, nice and slow. Once you're all the way down on the mat, bring the knees into the chest. Give them a nice squeeze. Lift the forehead to kiss the kneecaps. And then extend the legs out onto the mat. Allow the feet to gently fall out to the side. Arms are out at your side, palms up. Closing the eyes and returning the breath back to normal. Finding yourself in your Shavasana. Please feel free to stay here as long as you'd like. Eyes are closed. Relax the forehead. Soften the jaw. Release the tongue from the roof of your mouth and unclench the teeth. Take a moment of gratitude here in your relaxation towards yourself for showing up and making it to your mat today. Thank you so much for joining me. It was my honor to guide you through your practice. Namaste.